I almost just fucking died. Oh,
It's time to F. And what is up, everybody? We are live. I messed up the intro this time. Let me restart. We are live. What is up, everybody? And welcome to episode. I'm leaving it in. Episode 46 of the Hot Stove Podcast. I'm your host Zach. And we're joined by these three people.
Mark.
It's Josh.
and Connor.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
here.
he's in there. What the hell was I gonna? Oh yeah. We're gonna be doing normal shenanigans today. It's a very normal show, right? But a couple things first. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod. It's at Hot Stove Pod on Twitter. Here on the YouTube side, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment if you feel like commenting. Also, I hope you listen to the radio show, WQAQ 98.1 FM, every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Mark and Josh join me, unless it's like every other week in which Josh doesn't join me. He's got the alarm set this time.
Love
it. Maybe he'll actually be on the show tomorrow. Well, today, earlier, maybe you'll know as you're watching this episode. This is the worst part about changing when we had to do the show again, because I can't figure out the timeline for anything.
Mm-hmm.
When you're watching this episode on this Tuesday afternoon, you know already whether or not Josh was on the radio show this morning.
I was. It was
but we don't know if he'll be on the radio show next week on November 9th.
True. I'd drink a cup of coffee.
You just did drink a cup of coffee? Is that what you said?
No, on the show.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good.
Anyways, make sure to listen to the radio show. I don't know what the hell we're going to be talking about earlier this morning, but for sure, I can tell you that it was a good show, right, Josh and Mark?
Loved it.
Oh, great show. Great show.
Played some music.
My 20 minutes was...
Yeah.
Mark said the thing about aliens.
He said the alien thing? Yeah.
Great. Now I got to say something on the show tomorrow about aliens. Thanks, Josh.
What do you mean? The show this morning, the thing you already said about aliens, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that thing about aliens. Oh, gotcha.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Anyways, a little bit of an update here on the Fanduel side of things. We can't quite call it at the moment because the Monday Night Football game is still going on, and Josh and Mark are very close to one another. 5 points away, Josh has Daniel Jones with 7 minutes left.
No,
I have Daniel Jones.
Mark has Daniel Jones. He's pulled ahead.
I'm dead.
Josh has, who you have? Kadarius Toney, who's out, and the Giants defense.
It's over.
So I kind of feel confident about calling it. Anyways, as it sits right now, Austin got his second win of the year, which means that now excuse me, sorry, I was counting at the same time I was trying to talk. Everyone has won the contest twice this season. Through 8 weeks, everybody has 2 wins.
Very even.
I finished in second for the second time this year. Mark finished in third for the second time this year, and Josh finished in last for the third time.
Yeah, I'm running a heater right now.
Yeah. Remember, like week 2, you were like, "Daddy's home." You know, you did that whole bit. Yeah. Well, Daddy's gone. He went to get cigarettes, and he still hasn't come back. So.
I foresee a lot more third place finishes in my future.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about our Fanduel lineups later today, and Mark knows because he's been on this call for the 2 hours that it's been going already. That
I do nothing else with my life.
It took me. That's good because neither do I. It took me an hour to put together my Fanduel lineup for week 9.
Jesus.
The Millie Maker lineup that I have is A1, and it took me about 5 seconds to do. The Fanduel lineup for the all week lineup took me an actual hour to finish and put together in a way that we were looking at. Are you talking about this holding call, Josh?
No, I was like, why didn't I thought he was gonna take it to the deck. He dropped it.
Yeah, Connor's dancing. We're doing it. All right. John, I was just doing that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't mind me, man. I'm just popping off up in this place, you know what I'm saying?
It's a TikTok thing. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's why I didn't understand the thing that was going on.
Yeah, it's okay.
Not on the talk?
No,
You're not on the talk?
Mark doesn't
Don't-
have a TikTok.
don't even
What's
have
up?
the app on my phone.
That's
Be on
what we
TikTok,
talk
huh?
about this entire episode.
Upcoming
We can talk
social
about
media
TikTok the
trends.
whole time. I downloaded it as like a bit, like a year ago probably, and it's overcome my life. Admittedly.
I've had it for probably about 2 years now.
Now my For You page is just like e-girls who degrade me and then sports content, and that's honestly just where I want to be. Okay.
I got
I
a
think
third of it.
I think every show we're gonna funnel deeper into the problems with my mental health.
Yeah.
So
I like
if there's any 6 foot tall plus women out there who see a fat Puerto Rican, they're like, yeah, that's cool. Hit me up. Follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod, and then we'll go from
And
there.
then DM it with a picture of your voluptuous breasts.
Well, no, see, I didn't say that. Say that.
What?
Do that if you want to. All right. Consent is key.
No
There you go,
comment.
King.
Yeah. So
I'm just gonna go the classic no comment here.
before we start, we got trivia tonight. Got only one trivia question this evening. It's a basketball question.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Ja Morant currently leads the NBA in scoring right now.
Mhm.
Off to a great start this season. Through the Grizzlies' first 3 games, Ja Morant had 62 points in the paint. It's a lot of points in the paint in 3 games. In the last 25 seasons, there's only 2 other players to have 60 points in the paint in their first 3 games.
Do they have to be guard any position?
Yeah, any player. There's
Shaquille
only
O'Neal.
other. Let me finish the bit. Other than Ja Morant, there's 2 players who have done it in the
Yes.
last 25 years, and Shaq is one of them. So good job,
Yeah.
Mark.
You had already said that. You'd already finished the
I
question.
was clarifying. Give me a second. Jesus.
All right, so Mark got
Tim
the Hank
Duncan.
Aaron.
It is not Tim Duncan.
25 years.
LeBron.
No.
Russell
didn't swear
Westbrook.
No.
What's the
Dwight
question?
Howard.
20 plus points, 60 plus points in your first 3 games in the
60
paint.
plus points in the paint.
Yeah,
Oh.
your first 3.
Last 25 years.
Sean Kemp.
Last 25 years, Josh.
Is that earlier than he's not? Yeah.
Well, no,
okay,
it's
that
just
makes
by
sense.
that point, by 1990,
He would already played his
Sean
first
Kemp
games.
was
Yeah.
back. So
Oh, come on, man.
So it wasn't Dwight Howard.
no, it wasn't Dwight Howard. The player is currently playing. The other player that's done this. We already have Ja Morant and Shaq. The third player is currently playing.
Zion.
It's not Zion.
Blake Griffin.
It's not Blake Griffin.
Joel Embiid.
DeAndre Jordan.
No, that's not a terrible guess, but like, he doesn't really score at that kind of volume.
I was just thinking like Chris Paul just threw him 30 layups over the course of 3 games.
Zach LaVine.
No.
Andre Drummond.
No.
Bam Adebayo.
Also no.
Shit.
These
D
are good
Rose.
D Rose?
Yeah.
No, it's not D Rose.
Bing bong.
Shut up.
Put my boots on. What the fuck?
Julius Randle.
No.
Wow. Do we go with Austin's favorite player, Mark?
It's not Kevin Durant.
Ooh, I got a fun one. Gilbert Arenas.
No, it's not. I said they're still playing, Josh.
Okay,
He
and
won the lottery
he's over in
last
isn't he in
year.
Chinese. He's in the Chinese league, right?
No, that's Stephon Marbury that you're thinking of.
Huh?
It's not.
Or Jimmer Fredette.
It's not Jimmer Fredette either.
No, I was saying he could be thinking of Jimmer Fredette, mixing him up with Gilbert Arenas, two very similar players.
Right.
They're
both shooters in their own ways, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That guy had a gun in the
I
locker
don't know,
room.
man. You're really screwing me right now.
Yeah, you really
Effing my
got to
head.
deal with back insurance.
You guys, let's just say this. You guys are overthinking.
Jokic?
No.
All right, Mark, do you think? Give me other.
Yeah,
is that-
how am I overthinking? Anthony Davis?
No. Connor, what'd you say?
Has anybody said LeBron James?
Yeah.
It has been said, but it is incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Rudy Gobert?
No.
Not a scorer, but just a big fella.
Luca?
No.
The big fella. I know who you're talking about. Number 55, Roy Hibbert.
Not currently in the NBA, so.
It's Giannis, isn't it?
Yes, it's Giannis.
Yeah. Okay.
Mark.
I was wondering how long it was going to take for you guys to get Giannis and Antetokounmpo. But very impressive that Ja Morant was able to do that.
Yeah, the Grizzlies are they undefeated?
No.
Oh, they lose to the
I
Lakers?
don't think there's an undefeated team left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're pretty good. Pretty
You know,
good.
a fun fact: every
What's
team in the NFL this season has at least one home loss. There's no
That's
undefeated
impressive.
teams at home this year.
Huh.
It's a fun fact.
That's
But
fun.
maybe the stat that I saw was that every team in the AFC has at least the home loss. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because the Cowboys don't. Their only loss is in Raymond James.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
My bad. My bizzle. So yeah, every AFC team has a home loss this year.
Yeesh.
All right. Well, that was trivia. Nice and
Oh, that
simple.
was it?
Yeah. It was only 12 minutes.
For us to guess
Nice.
Great.
a two-time MVP and reigning Finals MVP.
And Shaq. Yeah. Yeah. Real heavy hitters here.
Yeah.
Connor, what you got? Is it the personal blender you got there?
Yeah, man.
That's going to be the dumbest invent. Why don't you just. Why?
Single serving. Bro. What do you mean?
Yeah, but just make a big one, dude. Drink more protein.
Yeah, that's.
You need more of it.
But okay. Connor, what flavor is that?
That would be chocolate peanut butter.
Oh, that's a good flavor.
That was my guess for sure.
Yeah.
Based on the color profile, 100%.
100%. Are the Giants really playing prevent defense with 5 minutes left? Oh my goodness,
They did it last drive, too. I don't know.
dude. There's another flag on the play. This game is terrible. Anyways,
Oh,
LOL. Okay, Josh, you saw the bit that I was talking about earlier with the first pick that Mahomes threw.
I did not see the interception, but yeah, I
So the two guys, I think it was Mecole Hardman or maybe it was Byron Pringle. If it was Byron Pringle and Jerick McKinnon stacked in the end zone. Mahomes rolls out, gets past the defender, and throws it this way to his right. Right beyond it went out of the reach of Byron Pringle, right past him, and hit Jerick McKinnon in the face. Bounced up in the air, intercepted in the end zone. I kid you not, right here on his head. Actually hit him in the face.
That's awesome. Another flag?
What do you mean there's another flag?
My God.
Face mask. This Giants defense is a dirty bunch. Sorry, we're reacting to their dirty boys. We're reacting.
Yeah, that's all I can think of is they're a bunch of dirty boys.
Yep, that's a face mask. You can't do that.
That naughty Giants defense.
Unfortunately, we're also reacting. Oh wait, I don't really think that was a face mask. Anyways, yeah, this hand was on the football the whole time. Okay,
Yeah, I don't know about that.
we're gonna now that we spent 2 minutes talking about nothing, we're gonna get into our actual content today. Listen, jump right into it. Oh, my AirPods just did a thing. You guys can
sound.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I fiddle with my AirPods a lot, so it acts up. change it. Anyways, we're gonna get it right into Believe It or Not for week 8. Who wants to go first with their Believe It or Not statements for week 8?
All right.
Connor, by the way, I want active participation this time.
Oh, dude, that's a lot to ask, man.
Josh,
I mean,
lay it down. What's your first Believe It or Not statement?
Me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this one I wrote on the fly yesterday when the news of Von Miller got announced, the trade of the Rams. And my Believe It or Not is, believe it or not, the Rams defense didn't need Von Miller. I don't know if this makes sense. I'm just really trying to talk about Von Miller. The point I'm making is that I don't think they were a Von Miller away on the defensive side of the ball to actually make a difference in how that defense plays.
Admittedly, the defense has been better than I think most people know this season. They lead the NFL in sacks, if you're wondering.
Aaron Donald's.
That'll happen when Aaron Donald is on your team.
I'd believe that.
They're top team. Depending on what site you look at, pressure rate is one of the stats that seems to vary depending on the site that you look at, whether it be Pro Football Focus, Pro Football Reference. They tend to vary wildly. Give me 1 second. I will. Mark, why don't you react to that? I'm going to go to Pro Football Focus and look up some stats here.
Yeah, they might not need Von Miller, but he's damn sure nice to have, isn't he? A lot of teams don't need Von Miller. A lot of teams will take him.
Really, just trying to analyze the whole trade. I want another one could have just been believe it or not, did draft picks matter in any sport? I mean, what the hell are we talking?
Not at all.
So what's funny?
Rams,
I appreciate you bringing that up because it's a good excuse to talk about the Von Miller trade. Honestly. Yeah. Now I can't find the effing stats here.
I mean, I remember 2 years ago when they made the trade for Ramsey, and then they didn't make the playoffs, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" Or they didn't win it, and they're like, "Whoa!" You know what? Imagine losing that first round pick now. And then they're just like, "All right, we'll just do it again. We'll just go trade some more. It doesn't matter."
So I don't know. I agree with Mark's sentiment on it. The whole thing is sure, is Von Miller the thing that they need? I guess not. But also on a team that has a roster that's that good, it's kind of hard to nitpick, right?
Yep.
Might as well add Von Miller. Could they have used a better? Could they have traded for an inside linebacker or maybe a safety? A safety is one of the bigger holes on their defense, I'd say. Sure, right? They got good production out of I forgot his name now. The guy who started this week after they traded Kenny Young last week.
I got nothing.
Yeah, no idea.
He got an interception. I can't remember his name. Give me 1 second. This is great podcasting.
Yeah, I'm also trying to find it.
I'm not.
Ernest Jones? I think that's who it is. Yeah, Ernest Jones. Played really well this last week in his first full-time action. So they got good production out of guys off the bench. And again, sure, could they have traded for a safety? It might have made more sense, but
it's Von Miller.
What is that?
It's Von Miller. If you can give Von Miller for 2 second-round picks?
A second and a third this year.
Second and a third?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you very much.
It can't make the defense worse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's for sure. Right?
To be honest with you, this is one of the more clear-cut trades in the NFL that happens for me. Normally, a good running back gets traded for a 6th-round pick, and I'm like, does anyone hold value in this league? What the hell? This
running
this
backs
one
don't.
felt. Well, that's fair.
Absolutely not.
But no, you're 100% right. I like I said, not 100% sure the Rams needed Von Miller, but fuck it. Can't hurt to have, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
Especially given they're playing in the NFC, which is clearly the better conference of the two. I'm now beating Nick by 0.7 of a point, by the way, if anyone was wondering. So
beautiful.
That'll go into my Believe It or Not. And my 2 Believe It or Not statements are kind of the same thing. It's a double-barreled one. So I'll just get mine out of the way right now. believe it or not, there are really only 5 teams in the NFL that we can say we're reasonably confident in moving forward. Those 5 teams are the Buffalo Bills,
Mm-hmm.
the Green Bay Packers. I think they've entered that group for me. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Los Angeles Rams.
I think that's fair.
I think I want to trust the Ravens. I think I can trust them.
Part of me leaving them off could have been because they had a bye this week. I didn't see them play this week, right? That's sure to be part of it, right?
Yeah.
I will acknowledge that was a possible foresight issue on my part.
You think you didn't say the Cardinals, right?
I did not say the Cardinals.
So you think the Cardinals are already like, after that loss, it's like, I don't know.
No, I don't think they deserve to lose like their standing in like power rankings or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not, and I think I've been fairly skeptical about it as the season has gone along. I'm just not 100% sure that their level of play through the first 7 weeks is something that could have been sustainable for the rest of the season. Like I would, of those 4 NFC teams that I named, I would say that those 4 teams on a like just a baseline night, I would probably take all 4 of those teams over the Cardinals. I probably wouldn't have said that about the Packers this week, but they just beat them on Thursday. So it's not even it's kind of an indictment on them, I guess. I don't necessarily think that I'm not like throwing them to the woodshed or anything. I just don't. I'm just not 100% sure I can hold them up there with that elite group in the NFC.
Yeah, I would say I believe that just because I still don't have any faith in Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach.
That's part of it. Part of it. They're just going to keep doing the same. They're just going to keep running their head into that wall until it stops, until they fucking die. Is basically their MO, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's mainly what it boils down to for me.
And my second part of my believe it or not statement. That's a good thing for the NFL. That we've got this much uncertainty and this much crazy shit happening.
Yeah.
The Eagles came into the week #1 seed in the AFC. What do? Mike White puts up 400 yards against them and they lose to the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucs are rolling. What happens? Jameis Winston tears his ACL in the 3rd quarter, and they still win by 9. The Saints do.
Yeah.
Oh, we thought the Chargers were like the best team on the planet. Back-to-back weeks. Bam, bam. They're back down a peg. Right? What's the other one? The other one I was thinking of.
Cooper Rush.
Right. Like, oh, the Cowboys might finally have like a little, might finally mess up here. Dak isn't playing. Cooper Rush goes out and wins a game for the Cowboys on primetime TV. Like,
Geno Smith
this week in particular was weird. Generally speaking, just very, very weird all around.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good thing for football. In my opinion.
I mean, Geno Smith has covered 3 weeks in a row. Like, that's a thing that's happening. Is Geno Smith is undefeated against the spread.
This is why I stayed the hell away from the NFL in betting this year. It is absurd.
Yeah.
I pick against Geno every single week, and it has not worked out for me.
Who do they play next week?
They have a bye week.
So you can't pick against them next week.
No, but I will in spirit.
That's fair.
He'll probably be done.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, and maybe it's just like I do this every year, right? But I feel like this season has been a really good season, generally speaking. Like, the games are exciting. With the exception of last week, every week has had an overtime game this year. I looked that up yesterday. And again, just like weird shit is going down, right? Like, teams are losing when they shouldn't. Remember when the Titans lost to the Jets like 3 weeks ago? And then they beat Kansas City and Buffalo the following 2 weeks? Like, You know, you get Bills fans belly aching about how terrible the team is, and that's just because the Bills fans are terrible, and that's what they're going to do. And yet they still win by 15 against the Dolphins. Stay tuned for that earlier today on the radio show. I'm going to talk about the Bills a little bit earlier today. I talked about the Bills on the radio show. Yeah.
I remember that. It was good.
But I think the parity is nice. You know, I think it's it's each of the last 7 years, if I remember correctly, one of the 4 teams to play in a conference championship game didn't make the playoffs the following season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the NFL is like sneaky weird in the sense that like people usually look to baseball as the sport with the parity, right?
Yeah.
And that's it's very fair.
Yeah, no repeat World Series winner since the Yankees in the late 90s.
Right. But the NFL has sneaky parity, right? I think it's usually when it was still 12 teams in the postseason up until this past year. It was like every year, at least 5 of the 12 teams that made the playoffs the previous year would miss the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't. I mean, there's only been 2 back-to-back Super Bowl champions in the 21st century, or was it just 1? Was it just the Patriots three-peat?
Giants weren't back-to-back, were they?
Yeah, they were 4 years apart.
Yeah, I don't know why. In my head, those are back-to-back.
Let me see. Yeah, the only back-to-back Super Bowl champion in the 21st century was New England in 2004 and 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And since then...
Didn't they do it again in the teens?
They did not.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. The 2010s in Super Bowls goes like this. New Orleans, Green Bay, New York, Baltimore, Seattle, New England, Denver, New England, Philadelphia, New England, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. I don't know. And it might be, part of it might be exemplified by the fact that, like, I don't know what the hell is going on with the Chiefs right now. They did just win. So that's,
yes, they did.
There's that, right?
They scraped by the clutches.
Didn't cover. I'm officially done picking this team.
Why?
You
10.5?
10.5?
What the hell are you doing?
I had a 9.
Apparently, according to just based on win percentage, the Chiefs have the toughest next 7 games in the NFL.
Oh,
I
perfect.
can't wait
Just
to
what this
pump them
team
down
needs.
week 11.
Right. Just what this team needs. I don't know. That's just how I'm feeling about the state of the NFL at the moment. Mark, what's your first believe it or not statement?
Believe it or not, despite the fact it was against the Lions, Nick Sirianni learned how to coach.
I didn't watch the game, so
No.
Well, here's the thing.
I want to hear
Going into this game, Boston Scott and Jordan Howard combined for 10 touches on the year.
right, and it was all Boston Scott because Jordan Howard wasn't on a roster. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They just signed him to the practice squad this week.
Oh, for some reason I thought he was on the week before. They each had 12 carries in the win against the Lions and 2 touchdowns apiece. I think Nick Sirianni learned that running the ball can be an okay thing to do from time to time, which is crazy because he had Jonathan Taylor on his team last year.
Yeah.
And he just figured that out.
Yeah, and they had Miles Sanders the start this year, and they gave him like 14 carries over the course of 3 games before he got hurt.
And so I know it was just against the Lions, but this is a step in the right direction, I feel. He actually ran the ball.
Well, and I think that's generally speaking what good teams are supposed to do. Like,
yeah.
If you want to be a good team in the NFL, you're supposed to beat the Lions by 30. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, that's my believe it or not. He learned how to coach.
Do I think it's a big swing in the other direction, given Jalen Hurts only threw the ball 14 times? That's bound to never happen again.
Oh, for sure.
For any quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see what happens, right?
I think.
So how about this? Let's put it this way. Let's put a pin in that statement for the week. They play the Chargers this upcoming week, a team that definitively cannot guard the run or cannot stop the run. Like the worst run defense in football.
If Jalen Hurts throws the ball 35 times, I'm going to be very upset.
So we'll see what happens against an actual good team that can't stop the run. That's my hold that thought.
Fair enough.
Hashtag hold that thought. Josh, you have another one?
No, I do not.
Mark, do you have another one?
Believe it or not, despite this win, the Chiefs are still fucking done.
Okay.
I told Mark before we started that I was not going to touch the subject today.
Yeah, and I'm going to touch it.
For specific reasons, and I will continue to not touch the subject
I'm
after
only saying it because I want this team to be better than they are.
Oh, you're trying to egg them on?
Well, I think everybody wants the team to be better than they are, unless you're like a hater of good football. You're like, I don't want good teams to be good. That's you, Josh. All right.
You described me.
I'm saying this because I want this team to be good.
Josh wants every team but the Cowboys to be winless, and even then, he still doesn't like it when the Cowboys are good.
Correct. I mean, I'm kind of loving it right now. As a guy who has been trying to not bet football, yet only getting last-minute bets in on his own team, who happens to be undefeated against the spread, it's a great year. It is a great year.
Yeah,
For a degenerate Cowboys fan.
Yeah, well, I will not be touching.
They just squeaked by the New York Football Giants and won by 3. They should have beat this team by 25.
I mean, they just had some mistakes, dude. I don't know. I think Travis Kelce might actually not be as good. And I know, his best is 1,000 yards. I just don't know that he's, good at all anymore. That may be a hot take.
He had 530 yards and 4 touchdowns coming into this game.
That's probably quite the hot take.
He's looked pretty lethargic to me.
To be fair to him, he got hurt last week.
Fair.
Don't know how much that might be affecting him.
True.
It was a stinger, too, last week, if I remember correctly. So
Yeah.
Nerve problems can be weird like that.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair. I'm not one to say Travis Kelce's cooked right now. All right. I will not be going out on that limb right now.
Let me die.
This is also the guy that thinks Kevin Durant is bad at basketball. So
No, I do not think that. I did not say he was bad. No.
You just
overrated.
Said he wasn't that good.
Overrated does not mean bad.
No,
I'm pretty sure you said he was bad.
Then you doubled down.
Well, sure. Then I was
Think
goaded
he was
in.
that good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
You can't pull back from that one. You did double down on those statements.
Connor, you keep showing all that skin. I'm gonna have to show some skin if you know what I mean.
No,
this
this isn't an after dark episode.
erotic.
Not doing
stop it.
Trying not to. I got a shower, so.
That's fair.
Nice. Get the cam on.
You gonna take your phone in the shower, like be on the shower?
No, I'm going to leave the phone conversation.
Okay.
Oh, come on, man.
Enjoy your shower, Connor.
No, I'm not there yet. I had.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you were
Connor,
doing. Now.
Do you use
No.
a loofah or maybe a rag or just the old soap bar?
With the man.
Oh, okay.
Use the
Nice.
what? What did you say?
His bare hands, like a man.
I also use my bare hands with soap.
Same.
I've been turned on to the loofah as of late. It's pretty fantastic for a lazy man too.
I have a loofah at home in Rochester. I don't have one here.
It's magnificent.
I've never
I'm
owned
like
a
a
loofah.
caveman. I just use my hands.
Mark,
Yeah.
you should try it. And tickles, if you know what I mean. So, you should try it.
Dude, how the hell? I just usually get an hour out of this stupid show.
Because we usually have 48 minutes of trivia.
That's fair. But even then, we're through with the NFL content. That was 20 minutes ago that we started.
I don't know. We weren't really arguing much tonight. We just kind of said our stuff, said yay or nay, and
Yeah.
moved
This
on.
episode's loose. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna title this one episode 46, Loosey Goosey.
Yeah, I like it.
That's the title of the. I think I'm gonna start getting creative with the titles.
I think
think
we
you
should
should.
go. I think we should go an always or no. Yeah, an Always Sunny route, maybe. It's like the one where, or sorry, Friends. You know, like episode 46, the one where Mark said that Kansas City still sucks. Booty cheeks, you know?
Actual quote.
gonna-
I did say that.
I'm going to go back and rename last week's episode 45, the worst one.
Wasn't that bad.
How was you guys' Halloween?
Does this
Oh yeah, Josh, I meant to ask you how your bit went.
Well, Mark, I'll tell you. Yeah, I was doing a bit. We went as old people, but I specifically made my man. So her name was Gertrude White, and I was supposed to be Dennis White, but I was introducing myself as Roy Orbison, and then she would have to remind me of who I am because I had dementia. The very first person I got introduced at this like house party before we went out, who I was talking to, I was like, "So what do you do, man?" And he's like, "I work in Alzheimer's research," and I go, "Nice." Nice. All right.
Oh
All right.
my
Well, I'm just a big old piece of shit.
dude,
I
that
was
is
like, yeah.
straight. That is straight out of an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. You
Yep.
could not script that.
100%.
You could not
100%.
script that any better.
I was just like, wow, that sounds really rewarding. Cool. I'm gonna go get a drink. Nice. Good to talk to you. Tooch. Ugh.
That's hilarious. That's
That's
really
incredible.
So what, you just went out? Excuse me. You just went out on Saturday. You didn't go out last night or anything.
Yeah, just Saturday we gave out candies from trick or treaters before the Cowboys game. So that was
Once
fun.
the Cowboys game started, it was like all lights off. Don't want to see any little children.
100%.
The gold rush is going on. Cannot have any interruptions.
We came in at like 7:00, and then for an hour before the game, we just left a bucket outside. It was getting cold. We're not waiting out there, and and I went back out there, turned the lights off, grabbed the bucket. I was like, no distractions. We're in on it. I actually, the psychopath in me, bet Cowboys money line too last night before the game. I was just feeling it. The gold rush inspires me.
No
To
one
be a
can
better
get behind
man.
a bad quarterback quite like you can. It's true. It's a true statement.
Yeah.
First, it was Ben DiNucci, and now it's
Okay. Yeah,
the gold
the
rush.
Nooch.
You're telling me that the Cowboys saw something in Mike White. Like, calm
They
down.
did. There's a tweet from a beat reporter that he pulled up from 2018 when he was like, I wouldn't be surprised if all three guys in this quarterback room were still in the league 10 years from now. It was Mike White, Cooper Rush, and Dak, obviously. And I was like, no shit. This guy called it. I mean,
10
obviously
years
he did.
is a bit of a stretch, but yeah.
Yeah.
Those kinds of
Yeah.
guys linger. They do have roster spots for those people. So
The fact that Geno Smith was on an NFL roster was the most shocking thing I saw this year.
yeah, I mean Chase Daniel has made.
Yeah.
Have I pulled up Chase Daniel's earnings per start before?
No.
No.
I mean, this is like, who was that guy who backed up the Packers for the longest time? Matt Flynn, right? I mean, that's the type of guy, like, who
Yeah.
just has one game. Like, Mike
Mhm.
White just played himself into a backup role for 5 years. Like,
So Chase Daniel plays for the Chargers currently.
Mhm.
He in his career had 287 dropbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to see how long he's been in the league.
or mid-2000s.
Chase Daniel was an undrafted free agent in 2009.
Okay.
Okay.
So he is
A little over a decade.
Matt Stafford.
1, 2, 3, or I can't count. 1, 2, 3,
12 seasons.
12 seasons. This is his 12th season in the NFL. Over those 12 seasons, he's made $38 million.
That's a lot of money.
What?
And how many starts?
Career dropbacks,
Oh, God.
which gives him a grand total of $131,000 per dropback in his career. More-
Jesus.
He's only had 178 completions in his career. So Chase Daniel, over the course of his 12-year NFL career, has earned over $200,000 per completion.
That's insane.
Now, some dudes like that just commit highway robbery. Yeah, the guy was the backup to Drew Brees for 4 years. I guess he gets to stick around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Payton guy.
Yeah.
They had a package for him. They had the Chase Daniel package. Nobody
I
ever
don't
saw it.
I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, yeah.
They had the Chase Daniel.
Oh yeah, Sean Payton, mastermind dude. He had a
Yeah,
Chase Daniel package. He knew exactly what to do with Chase. He was just waiting to
You
unleash
think
him.
this week, now that Taysom Hill's gonna be their starter, do you think that they're gonna have a Trevor Siemian package?
Wait, is Taysom Hill actually going to be the starter?
I assume if he's healthy.
Oh yeah, he's got to be. Oh my god.
He's been in concussion protocol the last few weeks, so we don't
Oh.
quite know yet. But if he's healthy, I assume he'll be the starter.
But-
I mean, candidly, as much as I don't think Taysom Hill's all that good, I'd rather have him than Trevor Siemian as my starting quarterback.
So here's the honest question then: for a team like,
Do they sign Cam Newton?
well, Cam Newton, or my other question would be like, do they go make a trade for maybe a Minshew, like either a high-profile backup or, I mean, Deshaun Watson?
I don't see a world in which
Like-
Deshaun Watson gets traded. By the time this episode comes out, the trade deadline will be only a few hours away.
Yeah.
So, again, color me shocked
Mm-hmm.
if Deshaun Watson is on a team that's not the Houston Texans come tomorrow evening.
I just want to say real quick, we don't talk nearly enough about the fact that Sean Payton was suspended by the NFL for intentionally trying to hurt people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what do you want me to say about Bountygate? It's terrible.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
Sean,
not talked about nearly enough.
Did it to
Like,
an old man, too. Well, I mean, never mind.
Yeah.
I was going to say something.
he doesn't get any of the slack. Not like who the hell was the D coordinator at the time? I know Vilma got a ton of crap, and then the jerk off that we all hate from the Browns and the head coach.
Hugh
He's
Jackson?
terrible. No, he's a terrible man who aimed to injure people.
Greg
Who's this coordinator?
Williams. Yeah.
Greg
Oh,
Williams.
Greg
Yes.
Williams, yeah.
Thank God. I was
Crazy
like, that guy.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys suck.
Greg
Sean
Williams.
Payton's a scumbag.
Here's the thing. I guess we'll get into this now. This will be the last thing I do before we do our Fanduel Lineups here. I had a conversation in one of my classes the other day about Mike Tomlin's comments when he was asked about the USC job. Basically told the reporters to go fuck themselves,
Yep.
Mhm.
And a fun one.
which good for him, right?
Yeah.
Perfectly okay with that. And my professor, who I will not name, was like, because at the end of the quote, Mike Tomlin said something to the effect of like, basically like, why am I the only one that's getting asked these questions? Why are you not asking Sean Payton? Why are you not asking Andy Reid? Blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
And my professor was like, "Oh, I don't know why he's got to make it a race thing." Well, here's why. Right? This is how coaches are looked at over the course of their careers. Right? Let's look up some numbers here.
I like numbers. Numbers are cool.
Mark likes numbers, right?
Almost as cool as letters.
Everyone.
Like number.
Let's see. Right? Head to Pro Football Reference here. Right?
This is why you
Mike-
can't let me vamp about anything. I say shit like I like numbers.
Mike Tomlin, 15 years as an NFL head coach.
Pretty good.
Career win percentage, 647. Right?
He's never had a losing season.
Never had a losing season in his NFL career. Sean Payton, 15 years as an NFL head coach,
Mm-hmm.
641 win percentage. Right? 4 losing seasons in there, but also multiple 13 win seasons, multiple 12 win seasons, blah, 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 whole thing, right? Similar numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mike Tomlin, I literally just had it pulled up and then took it down, so I'm an idiot. Mike Tomlin has like 2 more wins than Sean Payton in his career or something like that. This is what we get, right? Sean Payton never has his job questioned. Got the whole Bountygate thing kind of swept under the rug. Nobody
Mhm.
cares that he paid his players to go out and intentionally injure Brett Favre in a playoff game, right? Mike Tomlin, again, same record, has done nothing but win. Known as like the ultimate team guy.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of a stretch where his team is still competing begrudgingly against the fact that their quarterback is the most washed thing I've ever seen in my life.
He's
Has to field questions in the middle of the week as to whether or not, in the middle of the season, as to whether or not he's leaving the job he's had for the last 15 years to go coach at USC, a program that hasn't been relevant in a decade.
Yeah.
You know? Save the 1 year Sam Darnold was the starter.
And they still weren't relevant. They were still not very good.
Right, exactly. I'm not here to say that the people and I don't have anything against Carson Palmer, who was the first person who originally brought it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything against the reporters who asked them the question, right? It's something that's in the news. You should probably ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, don't be up in arms when the fucking guy gets defensive about a question like that.
Yeah.
You know?
My only question comment is because Carson brought up him specifically, that's why I'd be expect there were reports, you could say, at least tying them somewhat.
The
loosely.
reports were Carson Palmer mentioning it offhand on the Rich Eisen show.
Yeah, but he's a part of the committee to pick a new coach, no?
Right. Look, I'm not saying that it was pointed or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just I always have the question of why I of all of the coaches who have all of this esteem, right?
Mm-hmm.
It rubs me the wrong way that Mike Tomlin is always the first one to be put on the hot seat.
Yep.
That's fair.
Always.
That's
100% of the time. You know? Any rough patch that the Chiefs might be going through right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Andy Reid will never get
No
it.
one's going to be questioning Andy Reid's job.
Mm-hmm.
No one would be questioning Sean Payton's job if the Saints were bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one would be questioning. What were you saying?
No one questioned Mike McCarthy until Aaron Rodgers held out.
Right. No one questioned Mike McCarthy, who was an average coach at best.
Bad. I say bad coach.
That's why I said average at best. Right?
He's totally
Josh,
pawned Mike Zimmer last night.
The Bucs could flame out. No one will question Bruce Arians' job.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We have a hard enough time as it is getting black coaches into the NFL. Right? For the love of God, if there's something good and holy in this world, Eric Bieniemy will be a head coach next year.
I found out why he isn't.
Because he doesn't want to. I know.
No.
What's that?
What is it?
Very bad guy.
Is he?
It has multiple reports of beating women and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well,
Eric Bieniemy is a very bad individual.
Do I have a source? Do you have a source?
We got sources on that?
Yeah, there were stories written about it and stuff. It very much got swept under the rug.
Interesting. Anyways, my point still stands, regardless of bad person, Eric Bieniemy. Again, it's not even the fault of Carson Palmer for bringing it up. Although I do find it curious that Mike Tomlin was the one NFL coach that anybody mentioned.
Yeah.
Right? That was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else was just college guys. And then he was like, oh, yeah, Mike Tomlin, too. That's weird. But why? You know?
Yeah.
I don't begrudge the reporter for asking the question. I just have general questions about the way that someone like Mike Tomlin is treated in terms of the grander scheme of NFL coaches. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go on an Adam Gase rant again. That fucker's out of the league, so I don't care.
Thank God.
You're right. I have a friend who's he's a Steelers fan, and he'll just quickly go to the Tomlin needs to go thing. I'm like, there's just no other borderline than that's just a pure racist thought.
No one would be saying that about Bill Cowher.
No, he's never had a losing season. True. He's the ultimate player's coach, as they say. I'm like, it's just some sort of racism inside you. I'm like, it's just I don't understand.
If this was still Bill Cowher, not a single Steelers fan would complain.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No one asks and partially it's because they somehow ring 11 wins out every season. But like even this year, no one's even had Russell Wilson played 17 games, right?
Yeah,
The Seahawks
Pete Carroll.
the Seahawks were trending in a bad direction. They
Mhm.
weren't playing well even before Russ got hurt. If they finished 9-8, no one would be.
And that's his old job.
No
That's
one would be calling for Pete Carroll's head.
Yeah, but like specifically talking about USC, that's where he had the most success.
Right. No one would be asking if Pete Carroll was going back to USC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who knows, man? I'm gonna keep yelling into the void. Right? It's the same point I bring up every 6 months or so. But for every Mike Tomlin, there's a Hugh Jackson, I guess. I don't know. Did you see who the NCAA announced are going to be the coaches for? I think it was the Senior Bowl.
Yeah,
it
Marv
was
Lewis and
Jeff Fisher.
Marvin Lewis, Jeff Fisher. Yeah, the pillars of NFL mediocrity.
I love Jeff Fisher, dude.
Yeah, this is a funny guy. Not a great coach, but funny guy.
No, very much a bad coach.
Anyways, look at that. We wrung like 20 minutes out of that. This is why I'm great for radio. All right, I can talk about nothing forever. Last week I talked 20 minutes about the NBA 75 list. I've had that conversation like 12 times in the last 7 days.
Want to have it a 13th?
I did it all on radio. We kind of talked about it on the podcast last week. I talked about it in pretty much all of my classes. I did a radio segment for a class on it last week. I'm done talking about this shit. Bring me back in 2046 when they do the 100-year team.
It's kind of great. Oh, sorry, Mark. Go on.
I was just was Chris Webber wasn't on the list, was he?
No, not that I know of.
I think so.
Okay.
I just find it great that like part of your class is like just talking about sports. Like that's like that's magnificent.
I am in a major dedicated to sports, so that's the extra cool part about it, right? Like, yeah, sure, I'm in a journalism program, but like, I'm in a sports journalism program.
Yeah,
I just sports is my homework. I just do sports. We're doing a production on Wednesday in one of my classes, and the production is pregame for the Packers Chiefs game on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like one of the color commentary guys. I've told these guys already, but I had to like cut 20 seconds of video for one of my points. And then I'm the betting guy also on the broadcast. So I got to come up with my best bets for Sunday's game. That's my homework for this week.
pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a master's in that at Quinnipiac after my Q's master's. Double up.
Yeah. Smart.
Can't hurt. I'll just keep going to school until I die. That's not real. I'll just keep prolonging.
About it is like I'm convinced that I'm just going to keep going to school because as long as you're enrolled in college, you don't have to pay student loans. So I'm just going to keep going and getting more degrees until I die.
Yeah, MSCC, here I come.
Right, and I'll never have to pay off my student loans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'll leave hundreds of thousands of dollars to the rest of your family.
My mom is doing the same thing. So she has her master's degree, but there's a law in California that states that as long as you're enrolled in a college course, you don't have to pay student debt. So she's just taken like one course a semester at a community college, like learn some extra stuff, and then also not have to pay student loans. I was like, that seems kind of fraudulent, but
very.
She's doing it anyways. So
good for her. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Money moves only.
What'd you say, Connor?
Money moves only.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and that's why I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pile up the master's degrees. Next one, I think I'm going to go for a biochem master's. Right?
Sheesh.
That's a good idea. Astrophysics. That's going to be my next master's degree. Yeah.
You can, what one of my buddies said he was going to major in when we were doing like high school stuff. He said aeronautical space engineering.
I'm sorry, what's that, sir?
Fake.
Aeronautical space engineering. That makes
Are
sense.
you making fun of Vince Alonji here?
Well, yeah, Vince Alonji, Mr. NASA guy. All right,
Oh,
got a degree in aerospace engineering. He works for a finance company.
He works for like a medical equipment company as like a merchandise buyer or seller. Some shit.
yeah, he works for Birdworks. He works for Carestream. Yeah.
Yep, that's what it is.
Sure,
Makes
And
good money.
good for
Yes.
him. He has a job. I don't, so that says something. You know.
Up is.
All
Loser.
right, we're gonna get to our Fanduel lineups for this week. Austin's not here.
Austin's a bum.
Yeah, he
is that guy
sucks.
ever going to be on the podcast like
He
2
was
weeks
on
in
the
a row
podcast last
again?
week.
I said 2 weeks in a row.
Oh,
Yeah, he's dead.
this. By the way, you should have bet the over in this Edmonton-Seattle game.
I'm also watching the Edmonton Seattle game. That's what I went to after Monday Night Football ended.
So did I. The over was 6.5. By the way, it is now 5-2, so it has hit.
Yeah.
Seattle?
Yeah. No.
No.
Damn it.
No, it's 5-2 Edmonton.
Scored
Right
5 goals. One of the Kraken.
now.
Couldn't score 5 goals on me.
It's a rough go of it for the Crack.
Sorry, I'll say
Yeah.
Connor, a trained professional goaltender.
The Crack 8, highest save percentage in Section 5 history. Connor for sure, that's a real stat, Mark.
Is it really?
Yes.
But
He
did
doesn't
you
have
get-
enough appearances to qualify, but
Yeah, I
technically,
was gonna say.
Connor has the highest save percentage in Section 5 history.
Hey,
Yeah,
man, I don't want to talk about it.
I have the lowest ERA in baseball history.
0, right? You pitched like
Two-
1 in.
2 1/3,
Oh, 2 1/3. My bad.
2 1/3 innings, 0 runs, 3 strikeouts.
Do you have any volleyball records?
I don't know if I am anymore, but I was the leading digs guy in Syracuse volleyball history.
That's a fun
I-
fact about Mark.
I actually have a record too.
Oh, you have a
in
tennis
terms
record?
No, I won 1 match. But in the musical theater side, I was the only person in Section 5 history to moon an audience. So there you go. Show my bare ass to a group of people.
Is that true?
So that's true.
What play was that?
Greece.
Oh, that was before I started working. Okay.
Yeah, I got my booty cheeks pulled down, and one night you were supposed to be strapped with the boxers, but one night a little bit else got pulled down. You know. What I mean?
Oh,
There you
yes.
Yeah.
It was before I started doing tech work for those musicals. So unfortunately, I did not see Josh's bare ass.
That's
Some
a
women
shame.
actually
I've
came to
seen
me
it.
after. Many a time. Some women actually came up to me afterwards and told them that I had some sort of effect on them. Maybe, broken hymens, cultural,
Stop talking.
an orgasmic renaissance, some would say. I don't know. It's just-
Time.
Somebody mute him.
Where they?
This just
Well,
is an
six
After Dark
o'clock.
episode.
So send them my way, please.
it's
Anyways, we're gonna get on to our FanDuel lineups for today.
yes.
Like I told Mark, it was very hard for me to put my lineup together. I really don't know. I don't think it's good, but we went with it. So, Mark, why don't you go first with your FanDuel lineup for the week?
All right. I went with a triple stack here in the Jets-Colts game. I also have one other play in this game, so pretty big game stack for me. I've got Carson Wentz, Michael Pittman Jr., and Jonathan Taylor.
An onslaught stack.
Yeah. This is juicy. I can't believe I'm putting my faith in Carson Wentz. It feels very strange.
He has been playing legitimately well this season. I don't want to get anyone.
No, I'm not like shit talking how he's been playing this year. Just like I didn't think I was ready yet to go back to the Carson.
You're not
Wentz.
emotionally ready to get back to Carson Wentz yet.
Yeah, I didn't know if I would be ready to hop back on the Wentz wagon. And I'm going to this week because I get the Jets just beat the Bengals. The Jets still stink.
Yeah,
And
it's not like their defense played lights out or anything.
No,
So
their defense played rather poorly, and they had some big stops when they needed to, but outside of that, it was so blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. I don't expect the Jets to do it 2 weeks in a row. So give me Wentz, Pittman, and Taylor, but I also have Corey Davis because I think he's a confidence booster for a guy like Mike White. He is questionable right now, so I might have to change that if he's not going to play. But a guy that, has proven himself at least a little bit in this league for a quarterback like Mike White, I think that's a confidence booster, and you could see him get a few targets.
Before you go any further, I want to give a good stat about Mike White from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Mike White didn't attempt a single pass yesterday more than 15 yards down the field. His ADOT yesterday, I'm not saying this as a pro or anti-Corey Davis thing. I'm just saying. His ADOT yesterday, 3.4.
He had 405 yards.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's actually amazing.
Yeah.
So I had Jonathan Taylor in my flex. So my other two running backs are Melvin Gordon because why can't I think of the Broncos coach's name?
Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio. Refuses to not use Melvin Gordon way too often.
Been playing pretty well.
Yeah, he's been playing all right, but he's still, I don't know. Not usually a type of guy I would put my trust in, but he does get a lot of touches, and I'm not like, I think it's time for the Dallas defense to start coming back down to earth a little bit. I think they have been playing over their head a touch, and I think the run defense is going to see that.
So they just stuffed Dalvin Cook?
Yeah, and that's why I think they're going to come back down to earth a little bit because no one stuffs Dalvin Cook and has 2 great weeks in a row. So,
hey, Connor, you mind give us a little insight on Dalvin Cook real quick?
This is my favorite segment every week. My boy, Dalvin Cook. Everyone knows it. This man can go off for about $150 any given night of the fucking week.
That's true.
There it is.
I'll tell you, Randy Gregory either gets held every play or sacks your quarterback. There's no in between.
Yeah.
Guy's a stud.
Yeah.
Dude, the second coming of Reggie White, right?
All they had to do was make weed legal, and this guy is stuff. It's a PED. Sorry.
My other quarterback, we mentioned it a little bit earlier. I'm going to Boston. We're going Boston Scott against the Chargers. Chargers run defense is stinky poo-poo. And Boston Scott just had 12 touches, and 2 of them went for touchdowns. And I think he'll see a decent share again this week because, I thought it was going to be Kenneth Gainwell on Sunday. Turns out it wasn't. It was Boston Scott and Jordan Howard. So I like Boston Scott this week. My other wide receiver, I've got another little mini game stack here. I went with Jamar Chase going up against the Cleveland Browns. I don't know what to make of the Browns. I thought they were going to be good. Turns out they're not. And their secondary has been mediocre at best this year. So I also went with CJ Uzomah, the tight end for the Bengals. And so those are my little 2 Bengals plays there. I think they're going to have a nice bounce back week this week against the Browns. I think they're mad after losing to the Jets and Mike White. And then because defense doesn't matter, the Green Bay Packers against the Chiefs.
Well,
and you never know.
Likely.
Pat Mahomes, he might throw an interception off a guy's foot. Who knows?
Yeah. He will throw an interception off a guy's buttocks.
Yeah.
Probably. Josh.
Yep, I will give you mine. Let me pull it up here 1 second, sorry. So I also went with...
I really like you to be prepared for the show.
I went with a little game stack myself here, Mark. I went with this past week they struggled a lot. Justin Herbert to bounce back at quarterback up against Philly. I don't know. Philly stinks, right? They're not good, so I'd imagine They just get pummeled, kind of Derek Carr-esque a couple weeks ago. I don't know. Him and I took Keenan Allen, the slightly cheaper of the two receivers. It's just a matter of time until this guy just has a big game, I think. I'm still picking him until he has another big game. A wideout, Stephon Diggs. He did catch a touchdown this past weekend, but the big one's coming, right? Like the two massive touchdowns, like 40-yarders. I feel like it's coming.
They play Jacksonville this week, so.
Yeah. Who, by the way, what the fuck happened this weekend? They just put up a stinker against Seattle's garbage defense.
And they got run up on Geno Smith.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's one thing. Their defense I have no faith in. But Trevor Lawrence, when are people going to start pointing questions at this pretty boy piece of shit? Okay?
All right.
Because I'm doing it. I'm pointing the questions.
7 starts.
I'm pointing the fingers.
Just shocked. All right.
You're getting them. My third receiver that I went with was Brandon Cooks. Like, just ridiculously cheap for a guy who gets 12 to 15 targets a game. I don't even care. He's not going to catch a touchdown, but who cares? Put up some points at PPR, dude. Half point. Love it. Back to the running back position. That Jacksonville offense I was just berating. If James Robinson doesn't play, they love themselves some Carlos Hyde. And so I think Carlos Hyde is going to get a big portion of carries. And I'm actually, Buffalo's run defense, not great. Not good. Not bad. Mediocre. At best. Second running back, Nick Chubb. Cincinnati's run defense just as stinky. Real bad. No Kareem Hunt. Fire this boy up. He's pumped up. Sticking with that game for the flex, Jamar Chase. T. Higgins did have kind of a reminder day yesterday, telling people like, hey, never went anywhere. But Jamar Chase is the clear number one favorite target there. Speaking about favorite number one targets, tight end Kyle Pitts. I don't care what defense they go up against. Matt Ryan should throw this guy the ball 20 times a game. No one else on that offense. Well, maybe somehow I'm going to say maybe Cordero Patterson deserves to get thrown to, but Kyle Pitts is the target. And since defense really doesn't matter, the Falcons' defense, for no reason other than I'm hoping Trevor Siemian starts. And, I mean, just mayhem.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of similarities in some of our lineups here, but I'll go over mine real quick. Game stack for me. It was a hard one to pick between this one and the one I went with for the Millie Maker, but I went with Tua Tagovailoa against the Houston Texans. That team wants to throw the ball 9,000 times a game, partially because they can't run for shit. And, I think I don't know if this game is sneaky high scoring or just like sneaky bat shit. I can't quite tell because they're two bad teams.
Yes.
So, I can't in good faith say it's sneaky high scoring. But it's going to be sneaky weird, right? I feel like it's got to be. There's no way this is like a normal game of football. So I'm going to go with Tua and his favorite target, Jalen Waddle. He's got 70 targets on the season. Will he eventually turn them into yards? I don't know. Will he eventually turn them into touchdowns? They're playing Houston, so they've got a good shot. And then conversely, bring that back with Brandon Cooks, who, yes, gets all the targets from Davis Mills. Most importantly, though, Tyrod Taylor might be back this week. That's an upgrade, the quarterback position. And Miami's defense ain't been good. I don't know how. I don't know how their secondary's been bad. I really don't. But it hasn't been good. So I feel pretty okay with Brandon Cooks there. Running backs. My two running backs I'm playing naked this week. So I got Jonathan Taylor on Thursday night against the Jets. He might just go for 203.
You very well could.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, G. Real blow up game incoming, and then another blow up game incoming for the man who eats, Ezekiel Elliott. Not only is the Denver defense been reeling over the last few weeks. Bradley Chubb's still out. Both their starting middle linebackers out. Their starting defensive tackle out. the run defense has shown a bunch of cracks, unless your name's Antonio Gibson. But they trade Von Miller, Bryce Callahan, who's been their best corner so far this season, also injured.
Mhm.
The Cowboys like to run the football.
That's right. They
He's
sure
gonna
do.
get a bunch of touches, and he should be doing this all day.
Yeah.
On
I don't
Sunday.
know. I don't know what it is. I think they're just gonna go out and dominate the Broncos, like a big win. I think the Broncos are terrible.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
I don't think that's a hot. Yeah.
Yeah. My third wide receiver is actually going to be T. Higgins, who's basically received the same amount of targets as Jamar Chase this year. Just hasn't. He's not as good as Jamar Chase, first of all, but he is good. He's a very good player. And if you're going to see 8 to 10 targets a game, I'll rock with you. You know. And that's what I'm also rocking with Nick Chubb this week. So they didn't really seem like they wanted to give all the work that they would have given to Kareem Hunt and Dearness Johnson. But Nick Chubb, in his first game back, got 16 carries. Probably get something along the 20 touches route against this Cincinnati run defense. And as someone who is still statistically the most explosive running back in football, I like those chances to maybe rip off a big touchdown, maybe 2. Who knows? And then finally, tight end. This position is not fun, but I'll take someone sneaky here who's not really that sneaky anymore, and that's gonna be Pat Fryermuth for the Steelers. So since Juju's gone down, Pat Fryermuth has basically taken over the Juju role. He's the one catching those like intermediate targets. He's got 7 targets a game the last 2 weeks. Yeah, and if there's one thing the Bears can't do, it's tackle in the middle of the field. So, I don't know. I'll take chances. They might put Big Ben in a hospital next Monday night, but
Am I the only one that builds my team by picking defense and tight end first?
No. Yes. I do not do that.
I do defense first to just get the lowest one that's acceptable. And tight end, yeah. I
just do the I go quarterback. Like I work out my stacks first. And then I'll go game stack with the quarterback. And then any other game stacks that I want to do, and then I'll pick the naked players. And defense is always last. I'll just take whatever defense is with the money that I have left.
I gotcha. Yeah, I'm with you, Mark. I go defense, tight end, and then any running back that's only going to play because of an injury, so he's mad cheap. Yep. Or Chase Edmonds, because Chase Edmonds is like the only starter that's worth $5,900 anywhere. That's wild to me every week, but
yeah. Those have been our Fanduel lineups. Somehow this episode is an hour and 15 minutes long.
We always find a way, dude.
Dude, we always find a way. Literally 45 minutes ago, I said, how is this episode only half an hour long? And here we are.
Life finds a way.
What movie is that from?
Jurassic Park.
Right.
I was quoting my own Halloween costume because I'm a vain asshole.
Right. I forget. I remembered that as soon as I asked the question. But anyways.
Should I just mess around and watch Tommy Boy?
Should you? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, should I just, after this, just fucking lay back, put on some Tommy Boy?
I'm going to watch fights from 3 years ago. That's what I'm going to do.
All right. Mark?
I'll watch something.
Connor's going to watch The Shower.
What's up?
I said you're going to watch The Shower once we're done with this.
Yeah, once I'm done in there, I'm going to watch an episode of American Gods.
I don't even know what that is, dude.
The TV show. It's pretty good. I started it 2 days ago.
What's it about?
It's basically about this dude gets out of jail and he gets caught in like a world between like the old gods, like of like Egypt and like Norse shit. And like the old gods are trying to fight the new gods. I don't know. I'm not that far.
What network is it on?
Trying to explain.
Stars. It looks like.
Stars, yeah.
I feel like I've heard of it before.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I bootleg the fuck out of that thing. So
Oh, love that. Love that.
Love it.
As everybody else knows, I'm currently watching Succession right now, and it's going great. I'm still not caught up, so.
I'm not either, just because I'm waiting for you, and then because Josh is all caught up, and I'm waiting for you, and I want to be able to talk about it with both of you.
Oh, yeah, not for now. I already watched Sunday's episode, Mark. So.
No, you're fine. But
yeah.
All right, we gotta end this episode. So, a couple things before we head out. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at HotStovePod, at HotStovePod on Twitter. Here on the YouTube side, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment if you feel like commenting. Josh has a lighter. Connor has his fingers. Mark is on his phone. Mark has a thing in his hand. What is that?
I have an adapter for my headphones.
Okay, a headphone adapter. Make sure to listen to the radio show on WQAQ earlier today, but also next Tuesday. And that does it for the Hot Stove Podcast. For these three fine gentlemen, I'm Zach Nunez. We appreciate you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.